Gouki, Infernity, and is this Magna Warrior Kashtira? You guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more content. So how do you make Gouki viable? Evidently you play downbeat because it's just tribute a monster special to a monster with the same original type and attribute that that monster had on the field, but a level lower. Huh. That's kind of cute, I guess. We can actually do some level modification shenanigans. Now, I mean, outside of this, I mean, it's just going to be a lot of the standard Gouki stuff. I do see that, we do have Pankratops built into the deck just as the one actual name for you to work with. It's fine, but I mean, the rest of this is just going to be Gouki Advantage Tree stuff, go. And in terms of the extra deck Advantage stuff, this is going to be fun. Also, we do get to see Boral Sword Dragon revving it up here so that you can tear through your opponent on some end-board pieces. I find the Pot of Avarice kind of funny also. We get to play Trance Modify and Downbeat in the same deck. I don't know, man. Maybe there is something kind of cute to a list like this actually getting a surprising amount of fun. Next up here, we have Infernity. Now, this is something that, I truly feel like the TCG won't get to have fun with because obviously we still have Infernity Launcher locked up. I don't know why we have Launcher locked up on our side of the game, and it's kind of sad, but if we were to be able to explore some of the power that I feel like this package could necessarily have, it's kind of cool. Now, I mean, obviously, you're going to use some of the Fiendsmith generic stuff to access the Fiendsmith stuff, but this deck is just going to be looping around Trishulas, and yeah, maybe it's not exactly the most interesting build in the world, being able to loop Trishulas and, start to shave off as much as you can from your opponent, but as we've seen throughout the years, Trishula and Interblafnir, leaving your opponent on essentially 2 cards is usually probably pretty much enough to get your opponent to concede. So also, deploying a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon off of the Dark Magician Shining Sark package while also generating some hand clearing does clear up some advantage. Next up is Kashtira. Now remember, OCG gets to be a little funnier than we do. They get the ability to play Kashtira Rise Heart in their deck in exchange for the rest of the Kashtira package kind of going to the wayside. This is the reason why I think that this deck has kind of just done better on their side of the game throughout the years, because when you get access to, less Fenrir, less Unicorn, those I think are the more defining cards, but the TCG has said no, it's kind of the opposite. We're still going to be relying on this stuff, while OCG's just like, yeah, the walking, talking Macrocosmo guy is definitely not too crazy. I also see we're also playing Let's Go Together. I mean, forcing the opponent to banish 7 potential cards doesn't exactly, seem too crazy. So I don't know, that's kind of an interesting little takeaway here. Next up here, we have the Indomitable Power of Eniacraft. Funny enough, we are playing the Crown in this, which is kind of cool, but also we're bringing Zaborg, the Mega Douche, to town here. So the whole gimmick of Zaborg here, his job is to start shaving off things from the extra deck so that you can just start deteriorating things that the opponent might have actually had. And it's kind of crazy that this card has just been one of the very, very fun cards that has continued to do its little path to victory out here. And also, you're going to notice that's a lot of Durac cards that we're going to be dropping out of this extra deck. I kind of appreciate what the power that these little tools actually kind of give to this deck. So overall, I mean, I'm loving this deck. I still think that Eniacraft is one of the possible steal your deck or steal the field decks. Next up here, wow, we have Duo Tyrion and Friends. So it's Magna Warriors with Fiendsmith. I mean, this was kind of, hold on here. Hold on. Whoa. Scrap cards in my pile? Okay, what is this deck? We're also playing Georgius in here? I mean, what, your opponent cannot activate monster effects in the graveyard while this is equipped with a Dragoonity card? I mean, we're not even playing that. What is this? If this card is Link Summoned or your opponent's special summons, you special summon level 5 Dragoon, are we just playing this as like a Link 4 that doesn't really do anything? I don't know, that's some interesting stuff. This whole extra deck, I guess we can make Luin, but it's still a Dragoonity tuner to make this. Well, I guess This does special summon a level 5 Dragoni from the extra deck, so we can actually make Luin to equip. Huh, that's interesting. I didn't really think about the tools like that actually mattering all that much. Huh, okay. Next up here we have Exodia, the Forbidden One, and we've seen kind of time and time again how this deck has kind of evolved with the times and tried to become a little bit more of a meta challenge. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think that this deck is bad whatsoever. It's just what we have seen with the passing of time here is, you know, we need the soul of the Gaia the Fierce Knight. Like, though it's kind of a shame because at this point, now that Rizal had kind of left the room, it feels like this card doesn't really generate the same feel and the same hype that you would kind of expect, you know, a deck like this to have. So, I don't know. It seems good, but also Secret Village Lock's good. Set rotation to bring out the Gateway to Chaos to cut your opponent off. And there's a lot of nasty tools that this deck necessarily has going for it to work out. Next up, we have some Dark Lords sporting off Yield to Dark Lord. Just kidding, it's Archlord Christia. We've kind of kept up with some of the devices that I feel like these weird decks can kind of come up with, especially the Archlord Christia here, giving you the ability to just tell your opponent no. I will say also in terms of flavor, I mean, we're kind of playing all of the Dark Lord stuff in here. It feels like we even got Dark Lord Zerato on the back burner. I mean, he's definitely not exactly a good card anymore. He definitely fits the layer of appeal that I feel like this deck wants to have, but at the same time, I don't know. This is kind of cute, say the least. So I guess if you wanted to play a real Dark Lord experience, you know, even all the way down to the combi here, I think you've got a lot of little tools that could potentially make this a little bit of a funner experience, to say the least. And then we have, some Tri-Brigade. Now, unfortunately, Tri-Brigade does get to play this stupid card in the OCG, and we already know that this card's been pretty much locked up in purgatory for our side of the game for far too long, and it's kind of a shame. Actually, I do see we are also playing the Tri-Brigade Roar and Rendezvous. The fact that both of these cards, and even like Airborne Assault, so we do get to play the more niche cards, because I guess, you know, there's a world where we actually want to try to make Bucephalus 2. But the problem is Bucephalus 2 is just such a not payoff. You just want to dump this into the graveyard and then just kind of, you know, toggle along with the rest of the combo line. Also, 2 Imperm seems a little bit weird. We also do get to play Alpha, the Master Beast, but in terms of a pure Tri-Brigade strategy, obviously Simorg is going to be more of the carry because it brings out the little extra pieces to actually, you know, facilitate actually getting an end board set up. And then we have, a Egyptian God Pile. First of all, Double Winged Dragon Ross for your mode in this, but there's no Herakti in here. So you're not really going to get too much of a crazy payoff, but I mean, we are doing card advance. We are getting the true... God, man. You can stack the deck and then roll through with the true name is some of the most hilarious stuff you can get. But also, I see we have Dangers of the Divine. Actually, this card actually having play in here is actually very good, because just getting a free Raw beamed out onto the field, even though, you know, the Raw is not going to listen to you, but, I mean, it's fine. This card actually is very, very good for what it is. We talk about, you know, they needed to make some better consistent support for the Winged Dragon Ra. Dangers of the Divine, I think, definitely was one of those cards that its job is to help, you know, make this slightly more consistent. So we got some tools going for us. I definitely like what we're seeing for this list. And then last but not least here, we have some Sword Soul good stuff. I mean, OCG still has Baron de Fleur. We've seen how much that's actually impacted things. But also, you know, the 3 Brave Sword Souls definitely was kind of a little bit of a turning point for this deck. Also, they still are side decking Protoss. It's crazy to me that one half of the game looks at Protoss as a terrible card. The other half of the game's like, oh my god, you know, Protoss is actually okay. Nah, that's crazy to think about. But I think what we're dealing with here in terms of ratios for this list, I think most of this is okay. Maybe 2 tie. The fact we're not playing 10 E cards is kind of crazy, but I get it. So what do you guys think about all these cool decks? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.